Welcome, dear people, fellow Toastmasters, and guests all around the world. I'm Toastmaster Yash, Area Director, Area N1, and I welcome you all to the third episode of our Members Unplugged. Unplugged with an N, because we are Division N. And unplugged in the sense that we get to know our members in a better way. We all know them in a Toastmasters meeting, in a Toastmasters role, club contest, area division, and whatnot. But today we will let the people know of the world that what our members are all about. Today we have a special someone with us. She is really a lady of a thousand words. She is the VP of Strategic Planning at Loyal Corporate Consultants, working in the field of law and regulatory management. An experience of 20 years in consultancy related to industrial policies. A graduate in commerce, just like me, as well as law. She is a CS and is currently pursuing her doctoral degree from NLU Nagpur. A Mumbaikar by birth, a Nagpuri by choice, she has managed to create exceptional balance between her personal and professional life. So, please welcome a lady of thousand accolades, Toastmaster Prajakta Gadkari. Tell me one thing, Toastmaster Prajakta. Is there
Yes.
something that you cannot do? I mean, we have seen all those things that you are doing with a vast experience of 20 years, changing three cities in various fields. Is there something else that you cannot do?
Oh, thank you so much, Toastmaster Yash, for having me here.
Jokes
And
aside, ma'am, welcome. We all welcome you all to this wonderful episode.
and coming back to your question, there are a lot of things I cannot do. And let me share a secret with you. I cannot drive. Now, can
Oh,
you believe it? In today's world, I am not able to drive on the road.
oh man.
Uh, that is also on my wish list. As soon as I find the time to again get reacquainted with my driving skills, I will do that.
Awesome. And we'll sure love to go on a long drive with you. So one thing I just noticed is that you have a very nice, a very unique background. So is this your house or is this your office, or let us know what is this all about?
Yeah, this is my house, and it is a part of my kids' playroom.
Oh,
So that's why you see all the dolls and the toys and everything cluttering the background. And this is the core area of our house because this is where
oh.
my kids will do everything day in, day out. And I also spend most of my time here actually.
Awesome, awesome. So, just a quick question before we start off.
Yes.
I read your CV, I read your profile, and noticed that you have lived in three cities. You born in
Yes.
Mumbai, then moved to Hyderabad, then coming to Nagpur.
Yes.
So, tell us your journey of from all those three cities. What were you doing? How did you all move? And what were all the unique experiences in this journey?
Okay. As I told you, I'm born and brought up in Mumbai. So I have spent most of my educational life and as well as professional life in Mumbai. In fact, I spent the first 8 to 10 years of my career in a Bombay based company. Uh, Life in Mumbai is quite different, which I realized after I moved out of the city. You're running all the time for something or the other. You won't believe it. People find it very funny that we used to run by the train clocks. So I
Oh,
still remember that I used to catch the 8:13 a.m. train to Churchgate, and there was no way I could miss that train because once you miss it, you miss the office timing. So it has been quite a different thing to move to another city. For example, my first movement from Bombay was post marriage to Hyderabad. I and my husband shifted to Hyderabad in the first 7 years of our marriage. And Hyderabad is a totally different city from Bombay. So let me tell you a funny experience there. I went and asked our neighbors how long my office was. I was fortunate that I got transferred from the Bombay office to Hyderabad office. So I just asked from my residents, how long is the office? They said, oh, that place, it's really long. I was like, oh, really? I said, okay, fine. Then next day I took a auto rickshaw and told him to go there. I reached there in 5 minutes. And I was like, really? Is this long? I used to travel, I was used to traveling 1.5 hours one way journey by train to office. And then 5-10 minutes was nothing. I mean, so that is how it's all a matter of perspective, I suppose. And in Nagpur, probably shift from Hyderabad to Nagpur was quite similar, because Hyderabad and Nagpur are quite similar cities. And it was just like moving the city, but the experience remained the same. I mean, you can move everywhere in Nagpur in 10 to 15 minutes most. So that has been my most impressionable experience of both the cities.
Awesome. So I noticed another thing is that you said that you graduated in 97
Yes,
and started working in the same year,
yes,
which is
yes,
around 23 years right now,
yes.
23 years ago. I was born in 97. So
All
tell
right.
me one thing, and you are still working. So what's the motivation factor behind that? How you get up and motivate yourself to go to work even for after 23 years? Because most of the people we see that they work for like 10 to 20 years and then they just retire and they just live on the money they are working on, and the money is working on behalf of them. So what's the motivation factor behind working till 23 years and still getting up or getting out of the bed and saying, I will work today, I'll go and give my 100% to this work?
Um, as you rightly said, I started working in the year 1997, when I also completed my graduation as well as my company secretary in the same year. And I started working as a trainee initially. Uh, Over a period of time, of course, see, I was not a very good student, you know, I was never very interested in studies, but I managed to clear most of my exams in the first attempt. And once I started working, I got the hang of the whole thing, you know. I started getting interested in what I was doing. And that was the main factor. And that still remains the main factor which motivates me to get out of the house and go off to work. And yes, I enjoy what I am doing. And it is always one good thing about my career has been I have worked in different industries. So there have been a lot of learning experiences for me. I first worked in the telecom industry, then I moved to a medical equipment company, then I moved to a commodity exchange, and then to a warehousing services company. And now here I am working on the opposite side of the table as a consultant to corporates. So the main factor is all the learning experiences which I am having in my work. That is what motivates me.
Awesome, wonderful. So even after working in all those different fields, you are still like the curiosity in your mind is still not
Yes,
is still there and it's still not being fulfilled. Like you want to work on and on and on.
yes,
And
yes,
another thing is that you are right now you are pursuing your PhD
yes.
from NLU Nagpur. So that's just wonderful thing. Hats off to you, ma'am.
Yeah, I actually, when I started a year back, when I had to give my entrance exam for that. And I was very nervous, sort of, because after 20 years of not studying anything properly, sort of like for an exam, I was nervous. I was wondering, oh, what if I fail? My kids are going to really get annoyed with me. Oh, mom, you failed? Really? So I was a bit nervous. But then, yes, there was a very strong motivation for me to go for the PhD program. I'll quickly share that with you. I was
Sure.
working in my current job, I was working with an NGO, and that NGO works with the rack pickers and the kabadi walas. I'm sure
Okay.
you're aware of kabadi walas. Rack pickers
Yes.
are the people who actually pick up all the trash which has value and then sell it off to make a living. And the conditions in which I saw, which were prevailing for them, those are really horrible. I mean, it is very difficult to imagine it. I have not visited that place, but I have seen the photos, and it was very depressing for me. And that's when I thought, ki, okay, if I can make a difference in the regulatory scenario for these people, then let me try. And that was my motivation to start the PhD program. Of course, another motivation is that in my family, everyone is a doctor.
Okay.
So the additional benefit would be I will get a doctor degree in front of my name.
Awesome. Because one of the motivation factor for me choosing BBA was that only because all my family is in business and I had to do
Ah,
business management and continue with my family business. So
right.
somewhere family also comes in factor for
Definitely,
this.
definitely.
Awesome. So uh, why PhD at this stage? I mean, after working for 20, almost 23 years, you
Hmm.
told that you saw the conditions of the kabaddi walas and the rack pickers. That was one of the key factor. Another was the family.
Hmm.
But still there, what kind of spark did you get like to persuade PhD at this point of life when you are working, when you're stable, you have family, you have kids?
Hmm.
And why did you start PhD at this stage, and why this inclination towards law and other things?
See, inclination towards law, I have always been in the field where law has been a prime subject. Like the subject of company secretary, it is related to company law as such.
Exactly.
And thereafter, I also did my law graduation. And in my career itself, I was working both in company law area as well as litigation aspects of the company. So law has always been a focus area for me because right from school age I have always felt that language is my strong point. So law and its interpretation entirely depends on the language part, and that has been my area of focus. As far as getting to PhD is concerned, I have realized that PhD degree involves a lot of in-depth study of anything, and I also happen to notice a lot of very good research material which gave a direction of how a particular law can progress in terms of achieving certain objectives which are trying to be achieved by the society.
Hmm.
And that is what motivated me because I feel that once you have got a certain number of years of experience or a maturity, you can contribute better to that field.
Hmm.
And that's why I wanted to try my hand at it.
Awesome. So some personal factor, some also social factor came in mind, and
Yes,
that's where you got the motivation to achieve that PhD.
right.
Awesome. So this was all about your work life and your academics and professional life. But we want to know who is Prajakta Gadkari, not Toastmaster or not Dr. Prajakta or the professional Prajakta Gadkari. We want to know
Right.
who Prajakta Gadkari is. So tell us something more about what kind of food do you like, what kind of movies do you watch, what scares you the most.
Okay. Food, I like all kind of vegetarian food. I mean,
Okay.
literally, I am very experimental as far as food is concerned. I had tried out Vietnamese food. I have tried out
Oh,
uh, some level of Japanese food. I have tried out, but Japanese food is not really vegetarian, so
exactly.
very little options to try out there. But I really, if I go to a restaurant, I want to try something new. I don't stick with the typical dishes which I like. So that is as far as food is concerned. One of my hobbies, which many people don't know, I used to, a couple of years back when I had a lot of time on my hand, because I had taken a break of 5 years when my kids were born. I used to do artistic comic books for kids stories.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, and that was one of my passions because drawing has always been something which has fascinated me. And I had made at least 3 or 4 books, but unfortunately those don't didn't get published. And I will still try to get them published. So let's see. I'm hoping for the best.
Awesome. So when
Uh,
you do your PhD, that will be like published by Dr. Prajakta Gadkari.
that's still a far way away, though, but still, yeah. So,
Awesome.
and one of my hobbies is music.
Oh,
Uh,
wonderful.
Most people wouldn't know that, but I have learned classical music for around 10 years before I started my
Oh,
job.
wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, and that's why listening to music or trying to learn a little bit of new songs is always something which calms me down, it soothes me, and that is one of my best pastimes.
Awesome. So tell us, what is your favorite movie and why? We are just going into the uncharted territory of personal things right now. Not too much
Yes.
personal, but a little more to get to know more about you. So
Hmm.
tell us something about your favorite movies, some kind of favorite music genre, and what kind of songs you like. As you
Okay.
mentioned that you had trained in classical music, so is there an inclination towards classical music while listening, or do you like opposite of like rock and jazz and so on?
As far as favorite music is concerned, I like ghazal kind of music. I am not too much into rock or jazz. Probably because I have spent most of my life listening to classical music. So I really like the slow and soulful kind of music, which is typically what ghazals are all about. So I love all types of ghazals. And movie, actually, I can't think of any specific movie, but I love cartoon films. So even now, I would love to go to a cartoon film with my kids and enjoy it with them. I would probably enjoy it as much as they would enjoy. And when I was not a mother, when I had time enough to go to the theater, I never used to miss any cartoon film which came out.
So is there any particular cartoon film that you like very much? For example, for me, is the Lion King, the first Lion King.
Ah, yes, yes, it's a lovely movie.
Exactly.
The original Lion King.
Yes.
Yes, yes. So I
So
even saw the new Lion King, which
the
was
live
released a
action
couple
one.
of years back. So
So do you have any particular favorite animated movie apart from Lion King? Any other?
I used to love the Toy Story series.
Oh, wonderful.
So that was also a favorite of mine, and I used
So
to
there is
enjoy watching it, all the parts.
exactly there's one song in that you got a friend in me. That's really wonderful.
Yes.
Toy Story.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
So just now closing bet I must say is that what's your mantra in life, as we saw that what drove you towards your work for 23 years, that passion, and what a motivation factor towards the PhD,
Hmm.
for the conditions after rack pickers and all that stuff. So what's your mantra in life that you want to share to the whole world who are watching here right now?
My favorite mantra is something which my father also always used to tell me. Right from the time we were young kids, he used to tell us ki failure is not a crime, but low aim is a crime.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
And that is my mantra in life. So I always try to make sure that the aim is sufficiently high. Of course, it's not like I have not failed anywhere. It's not like that at all. But yes, you have to aim sufficiently high for you to at least have a perspective of a higher nature. And that is what will make you different from others. Different in terms of you yourself will be more satisfied with what you are doing. Forget about the measures of success or everything, but you will be very happy that yes, I have tried my best, I have tried to do the best I can do, and that has been always a driving factor for me.
Awesome, wonderful. So just a last bit here. We don't usually do this with guests, but today I have a very special segment. You have seen it at Coffee with Karan, the rapid fire round.
Okay.
So, Prakta ma'am, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. The first question: favorite Bollywood actor,
Hrithik Roshan.
favorite Bollywood actress.
Alia Bhatt.
Oh, wonderful. Mine too. Oh, favorite festival,
Diwali.
favorite season,
Winter.
favorite food.
Rasgulla.
Given a choice between Rajasthani and Sauji, what will you choose?
Rajasthan.
Awesome. Favorite color.
Green.
Okay. Three things that you can't live without.
My kids, my Kindle, and of course my family.
Awesome. So, what's Toastmasters to you in 3 words?
A fun thing.
A fun thing. Okay, technically 3 words. Okay.
Okay. No, but Toastmasters is a fun thing for me. Uh, I mean, learning can also be fun, and getting to see others learn also can be fun.
Okay. Given a choice between exploring the ocean or exploring the space, what will you choose?
Exploring the space.
Wonderful. Mine choice as well. Okay, with this, we're coming to the end of the rapid fire round as well. Wonderful
That was
job,
nice.
Tosma. Wonderful, wonderful. So, just a closing bit right now. You are currently working at Corporate
Yes.
Consultants, and you are also a
Yes.
part of that Loyal Toastmasters Club, a
Yes.
president of Toastmasters Club, I must say. So, tell us something about that consultancy firm. What do you all do, and what kind of stuff that goes on in the company?
Okay. We are basically into corporate consultancy. We consult for corporates in various different areas. We consult in terms of taxation, accounting, uh, uh, project management. So, mostly all areas we do consulting. One very interesting segment which we have started in the recent past is loyal advisory, which is a segment of our firm where we help social entrepreneurs. Uh, the concept of social entrepreneurs is that as entrepreneurs, you would typically look at only the profits of the company.
Correct.
But in social entrepreneurship, you look at the profits as well as the social benefits available to people. So
All
that's
right.
a very novel concept, though it has been existing for quite a few years. And that is one very interesting segment we have started.
That's taking from the society and giving back to it. That
Yes,
concept.
yes, yes.
Awesome. So, can you share any contact details for corporate consultancy?
Yes, I can share my contact details.
Awesome. So,
So,
people who are watching this on YouTube, you in the description box, you will get all the details about Corporate Consultant as well as Toastmaster Prajakta's number. You can contact her if you want any corporate consultancy, and also the concept that Toastmaster Prajakta shared. If you want to work on that, you can anytime contact her. All the details are in the description box below. And once again, Toastmaster Prajakta, thank you so much for being a part of Members Unplugged and sharing your life with us and sharing all those wonderful accolades that you have achieved in your life. We, on behalf of Division N, thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much for this whole initiative. It's a very interesting initiative and it helps all Toastmasters to get to know each other better. That's why it's a very wonderful thing. Thank you.
Exactly. And maybe when this pandemic ends, we all can go for a trip, maybe when you can learn how
Yes.
to drive.
Oh, how I would love a trip.
Exactly.
True, true.
Awesome. So with
Okay.
this, fellow people who are watching this, we come to an end. All the information are in the description box below about Loyal Consultancy, about Toastmaster Practice, contact details, and also you can see that red button down there that says subscribe. Click on that, turn that into a gray button, and also hit that bell icon to get notified about all the members unplugged, which episodes are coming after this. With this, we come to an end. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Parakta, and thank you all for watching this, taking your time, and we will see you all in the next episode. Bye bye. Take care.